in this video, I'm gonna make brisket, and I'm gonna start by cutting it out of the shrink wrap. It's 14-pound brisket that my friend brought me to prepare because he's having company in a couple of days. So the first thing we're gonna do is put a mustard binder on it, get it sprinkled down with some rub, and then put it in the refrigerator for a day. Take it out of the refrigerator, smoke it anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 hours, depending upon how much I want to neglect it. Take it out of that 180-degree smoker and throw it in a roaster oven all night and let it marinate. I'm trimming no fat. Fat is flavor. So I want all that fat to render down during the cook in the roaster oven. Use whatever binder you want. I like mustard. Sometimes I use olive oil. Sometimes I use avocado oil. I looked in the refrigerator, I saw the mustard, and I thought, how delightful would that be? All right, there we are. So we've sprinkled the rub on it. The rub is 1 part coffee, 2 part brisket rub. Any brisket rub will work. I call it beef rub, but it's really brisket rub. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours to just let it rest and do its thing. Take it out, put it on the smoker, 180 smoker with pellets, the Godke Downdraft. It'll have a super amount of smoke, and then again, it's gonna just braise all night with a can of Dr. Pepper. All right, 24 hours rest in the fridge. We're gonna throw our brisket on a 180 smoker. I always say I'm gonna do it for 4, 5, or 6 hours. To be honest with you, I really don't know how long I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it as long as I feel like. I estimate 6 to 7 hours, but again, that could be 4, it could be 5, it could be whatever I have to do. I'm gonna close the air portal on the Godke Downdraft, which is going to put at 180 an incredible amount of smoke on this brisket. Then it'll come off of the smoker and go into a roaster oven all night to become even more delicious. All right, 7 hours of smoke. And we're ready to take the brisket off and put it in the roaster oven, where it's going to be at 200 degrees on the overnight. The brisket smells amazing. Truly, I mean, it's very smoky. Gonna go ahead and add our Dr. Pepper. All right, we'll get about 8 to 9 hours of roaster oven time at 200. So the meat will end up around 203. It'll be in the low 200s. One important note about the pellet smoker is at the end of the smoke, I do starve the pellet hopper and the feeding tube. And not that I've ever had a problem with leaving pellets in the tube, but a very dear friend of mine had a Yoder smoker just like this. We bought them at the same time. And his, unfortunately, because pellets are compressed sawdust, his pellets got all swelly and locked everything up, and he ended up having to basically discard his very nice Yoder smoker. So I learned from my friend's misfortune, and at the end of every smoke, I go ahead and scoop whatever pellets are remaining in the hopper and just let it go ahead and starve out. Again, gonna take this brisket inside, put it in the roaster oven at 200 degrees, and then I'm going to go do something more useful like go to bed. All right, 7 hours in the smoker and 8 hours in the roaster oven. I did have some difficulty peeling it out of the roaster oven because it simply wants to fall apart. So I put it in the freezer for 2 hours so I could harden it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is try to figure out, separate where my flat versus my point is. So I'm just going to take an educated guess of about right here. And what I'll do is I'll slice inwards, about a finger width thickness inwards, and then I'll take that point and slide it, turn it around, and slice it against the grain. Again, if you want shredded brisket, when you cook it for 15 hours like this, take it out, let it rest, shred it apart. But if you want to try and do slices, you have to put it in the fridge. And I did this in the freezer for 2 hours. And I learned this trick. I was in a barbecue restaurant years ago. We're talking like 10 or 12. And their brisket was amazing. It was super, 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 super tender. And I asked, how long do you cook your brisket? And they said, oh, between 15 and 18 hours. And then I said, well, after you cook it that long, how do you slice it? And they said, oh, that's easy. We put it in the refrigerator for a day. And then we take it out cold, we slice it, and then we reheat it to serve. So I've done my briskets that way ever since. Even though I did the max chill, we can see just the juiciness in here. It's going to be so amazing once it's reheated. Oh my God, it is so amazing. Oh wow, so juicy, so tender. My off-camera taste tester.
Oh, damn. Holy crap.
Really good bark. Again, there is some fat left. That's flavor. When it reheats, it can then be separated for presentation, or just put it on the plate and, first world problem, trim the fat off the meat. But it is super smoky. The Godke Downdraft is the ticket for my pellet smoker. I truly love it. It's a great invention. I love Don, great guy. It upped my smoking game with the pellet smoker. I don't have to do a cheater tube anymore. I still run at 180 so I can get the max amount of smoke, but it just fills that chamber with smoke and it holds it in there. And this is just so smoky. It's so amazing. And again, I'm hoping that my friend and his family really enjoy this. Until next time.